You might be big, but your heart is small. It's the size of a cat. If you have never read Vagabond, you might have heard about a wise Buddhist monk and someone very important to Myiamoto Musashi. Or maybe not, but his philosophy is prominent in the whole work of Takehiko Inoue, which is why it would be interesting to present to you Takuan Soho. Historically speaking, Takuan was a Japanese Zen Buddhist, monk, poet and calligrapher during the Edo period. He is particularly well known for his writings on Zen philosophy, meditation and martial arts, which have had a significant influence on the culture of the land of the rising sun. And yes, it is also accurate that Takuan had contact with Myiamoto Musashi. Their relationship has been well documented, how they corresponded through letters, and how Takuan had particular influence on Musashi's way of thinking about martial arts. Now you might be asking, what did and does a monk have to do with a legendary swordsman and a fighter? This is where Vagabond elevates itself from other mangas by integrating Zen philosophy, which delves into acceptance, fortitude, graciousness and wisdom, and contrasting it with the gruesome side of living by the sword and causing death, agony, suffering and ugliness. Takuan's contribution to Musashi's approach to swordsmanship is in developing a more holistic and intuitive understanding of martial arts. Musashi writes in the Book of Five Rings, "The true science of martial arts means practicing them in such a way that they will be useful at any time, and to teach them in such a way that they will be useful in all things. The sword is not a mere tool to slaughter men. It is an instrument like any other, be it a musical instrument, a football or a car, that in trying to master it, the human has to simultaneously master himself, thus leading to a skill of self-mastery which spills over to all facets of life." Zen Buddhism points to this interconnectedness of all things in the universe. Takuan later talks about it in the manga, revealing his revelation about everyone's connection to heaven. The only way he sees to strengthen that connection is to pray, fitting for a monk. Although the Zen Buddhist cannot convince Musashi in the manga of his peaceful and religious ways in that moment, as they sit in a cell together, it opens the eyes of the warrior to his divine and satisfying feeling of occasional swings of the sword which seem perfect and surprise even the wielder. This feeling is the feeling of the infinite, of heaven. Takezo was the opposite of what he later became when he was called Myiamoto Musashi. His body was restless to prove to those who disliked him and the whole world that he is a force to be reckoned with. Yet Takezo's young mind was polluted by hubris, hatred and spite. It was the appearance of Takuan that transformed him. The monk was the only cunning fox that could catch the wild beast, to then teach him a lesson about life. Takezo was apparently sure about having a fulfilled life, and once caught, wanted to die a warrior's death, and not have to endure being in captivity anymore. The longevity and harshness of his punishment revealed the real person behind the feared Takezo. It was a distraught child which was overwhelmed by the negativity of his circumstances. Takuan, although ruthless in punishment, cared even for this lost soul, which no one cared about anymore, and truly hated and feared. Interesting to see how Inoue depicts the presence of the monk, where even a killer like Tsuchikaze Kohei senses danger and has to run. This points to the inner demon that Takuan himself harbors. However, Takuan has learned to live life as it is and to strive for more knowledge and acceptance. He asks Takezo if he was so happy with life, why then he was not smiling. It is crystal clear to Takuan that life was a battle, but not a battle with others like Takezo thought. It was the struggle with oneself. Before turning into Myiamoto Musashi, he sees in himself no possible redemption, whereas the monk does. He says to Musashi, "There is no light for those who do not know darkness. Live on and endure the shadows, Takezo. Takezo died here today. From now on, you will be called Myiamoto Musashi." Takuan offers a great spiritual and philosophical addition to Vagabond. Sometimes he shows the path of struggle over oneself. Occasionally he orates about the meaning of the universe. Other times he talks about the acceptance of one's body and destiny. But most times Takuan offers hope. Whenever the protagonist has been at the precipice of an abyss, the monk offers a wise word and a skilled hand to heal not only the mind, but even the injured body. He is the one, ever so often quoted with, "Oh, truly strong people are kind." In my humble estimation, Takuan is one of the most important characters of the manga, who was responsible for Musashi's change and development. And he achieved all that with the occasional appearance, yet left a lasting impression on the themes, character dynamics and reader experience. That's dear viewer who Takuan Soho is.
What the caterpillar calls the end, the rest of the world calls a butterfly.